Gerson. And when did you graduate from dental school?
Ooh, I graduated in 1985.
Awesome. That's great. I was 2002. All right.
He's been teaching for 30 years, Paul.
That's awesome, Lindsay. You make him feel good by saying longer than you've been alive. So that's nice. All right, cool.
Boy.
5, 4, 3, 2. Have you thought of adding sleep medicine to your practice? I'm so glad to be here with Dr. Geoff from the University of Michigan, and they have an amazing course coming up. They're Nacho Key Resources and sponsors, and please pay attention to get the best deal possible. Dr. Geoff, I know our people, the dentists, they love a deal. They love a deal inside of the deal. They're crown preps, Dr. Geoff, $2,000 works of art, no discount on those, but they'll stick around for the deal here. But I'm so excited to dig in with you. Tell us more about what this course does, who should be taking it, and how it trains them in sleep medicine.
Sure. So any dentist that's practicing in private practice could do it. I suppose specialists can do it too. The program starts from scratch. You don't need to know anything. And we go through everything you need to know to feel very competent in doing it. We go through everything from medical insurance to, materials that are used to make appliances, to what appliances you could use on specific cases, how you decide whether a case is a good case for a sleep apnea appliance or not, how to work with sleep medical professionals.
Awesome.
Basically anything you can think of, as far as I know, we cover.
I love this. For a while, we had a sleep medicine general dentist working in our practice, which is really cool. And prior to having him do that, I will admit, and I'm ashamed to admit, I kind of thought the whole thing was a scam. I said, this thing is all just made up gobbledygook. But I had this friend who was working in our practice. So I said, I love new things. So the second we sent out an email to our patient base that they could come and get a consult on this, we immediately got people coming in. And it was the impact that he made on our patients. People wrote these very nice letters to him. I'll make it fit for TV. They said, one patient said, I didn't know I was such a nasty person every day, but she didn't use the word nasty. It started with a B, but I now know because I wasn't sleeping right. So I learned that this is not a scam. This is amazing for our patients. I wish I had been tuned into it sooner. So what you guys are doing is just so transformative for general dentists. Tell us a little bit about how sleep medicine has impacted your career or some of the people that have taken this course. What have they gone on to do?
Well, it's impacted me greatly. I mean, I always, when I graduated from dental school, thought I'd kind of like to think about being an orthodontist or a prosthodontist, because I figure you're helping people in a way that they understand. A lot of people, when you do crowns and bridges and periodontal surgery and whatnot, they go away feeling hurt and they're not quite sure what you did for them, give them pain. The dental sleep medicine patients are the most appreciative of anything you do. I get emails from them. I get cards from them all the time saying, you can't believe how you've impacted my life. I get to sleep with my spouse again. I haven't woken up feeling as refreshed as this since I was a teenager. It goes on and on and on.
I love that, and also another myth that was dispelled for me when we had doing this is it's not just for people who are older and overweight. We had a person my age who was related to someone who worked at our office who wasn't sleeping in the same room as their spouse for a long time. And you never would have looked at this person who was, looked fit and young and said he could be suffering from this. So, I mean, really you're removing suffering. And you mentioned something I hadn't thought of. So I always say that orthodontists are smart, Dr. Geoff, because they give up on injections, right? They never have to give an injection. So now I say same thing with sleep medicine dentists, because you're able to utilize a different skill set to help patients that are coming through. And, I'm still waiting for my first thank you on a class 2 on number 18. Are you still waiting?
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath, right?
Yes, but it's true. So let's talk about moving people forward. So people are watching this thinking, I've heard about sleep. I want to get into sleep, but I want to do it responsibly. Tell us about your training program. Is it online? Is it in person? When do people start? Tell us about that.
Okay. So we opened it up for registration in June, but we're going to keep it open till the 15th of September. It's divided into 2 sections. One section we call Mastery 1, and it goes from September 15th through to January. And we have, I think, about 21 hours of recorded lecture online given by 8 different faculty on campus. There's some readings that need to be done, and those readings are kind of technical. So we have a study group we do on every Friday with the participants to go over the readings so that they know what they need to know. That's an additional 12 hours. And then end of September, 1st of October, that weekend, which is the only weekend in Michigan where we don't have a home football game.
Yeah.
That's why
Smart
we
of you.
chose it. We get together in a newly renovated clinic, and we'll go over how you do digital scanned impressions. We do the 2-pore impressions, which the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine recommends, and we go over 1-pore PVS impressions. So you know how to take impressions. We go over how you do bite registrations that are specific for sleep medicine, and then we go over the comprehensive exam that you do when you initially get patients. Then after that, the Mastery 2 course goes from January through February, and there's additional training there. Most of it's online. And in February, we have another in-session class where we go everything else you need to know in practice, and then we
Awesome.
take a field trip over to the sleep disorder clinic, so you get to see what the sleep physician side of things is doing. We learn about medical insurance and everything else along the way that is important, and we respond pretty quickly to our participants. If they're not getting something, then we beef up that part of our education to do it. But it's the same courses that the American Academy of Dental Sleep Medicine give in order for you to sit for the board that's given by the American Board of Dental Sleep Medicine.
Awesome.
So it really gets you up and running. And I think that, who knows what the long term will be. There's, as we all know, the oral facial pain specialty is a relatively recent thing in dentistry. And as a result of it now being a specialty, you have to be a specialist instead of just somebody who puts out a shingle and says, I'm a TMD specialist anymore. Yeah. The same thing could happen with dental sleep medicine down the road.
I think what you've described is awesome, because learning a new skill at any age or stage of your career can easily be overwhelming. And you want to have a methodical, systematic approach and people who have your back. So I think it's great. I mean, right. I know the medical insurance part and the billing part can likely be the most frustrating part at times of the whole experience. And I think that the fact that you're taking this holistic approach is fantastic. If somebody wanted to go, do you guys have a website, or if somebody wanted to find out more who is listening or watching, how would they do that?
Well, let's see. I got another screen here and I can tell you.
Nice.
You go to the University of Michigan Dental School's website. It's dent.umich.edu. And then you can do a search for mini residency dental sleep medicine, and it'll take you to a site that's got kind of an ugly URL, but it's on the University of Michigan School.
We'll share that with our audience here, and then you guys can get a discount. My grandmother was right, Dr. Geoff. People are lucky to know me. So as a sponsor of the group, you guys can get an amazing discount. And I just think there's so many awesome parts of being a dentist. There's aggravating parts of being a dentist. There's exhausting parts of being a dentist. But what I've observed through my friends who have done this, the dentist who is in, is that it can reinvigorate a career. As we wrap up, we talk a lot about how it transformed patients, but I do share this, Dr. Geoff. Dentists are people too. We're people too. Right. So how has it transformed some of the dentists? Are they feeling better about their careers? Are they extending their careers? Are they being able to bring in more production and profit in a patient-centered way? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I think it's the best of all worlds that way. It's done marvelous things for me. I can't imagine a dentist being depressed or having bad weeks if they practice this.
Well, you get. I mean, wonderful. It's those thank yous. I mean, we say it, and I say to people who think about dentistry, you have to be ready to go into a career where most people do not want what you're selling, and that can be very demoralizing. I mean, it just can be. But when you have this unlock to people's, to their sleep, to their sanity, to their success in life. And, I've sat in enough of these sleep lectures where these patients are sometimes passed around to all different medical providers and no one finds an answer for them. Have you seen that until they get to sleep?
Yep, absolutely. So we have evidence that the oral appliance, if it's done right, can be as good as CPAP, but without all of those terrible things that make people so they don't like CPAP and don't wear it. And I think that's quite an important thing to know. Yeah, I think, like I said before, I think that the patients, you don't get to, have their mouth open with a
Yeah.
rubber dam on. Most of the appointments you have with them are talking, so you really get to know your patients well. And we teach an exam procedure that's so thorough that I'd say that 80% of my patients, when we're done, they say, I've never had a
That's
healthcare
great.
professional spend this much time with me before. And so you're already off on a really good note with the patients. And then, it just gets better.
Well, I'm so thrilled to have you guys as a sponsor. I believe in what you're doing. It's a great opportunity for people from my Dental Nachos community to move forward and do amazing things for their patients. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up, Dr. Geoff?
I don't think so. If you have questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of us. We've got contact information on the website, and I don't know if people would want to contact me specifically with my email.
How would they contact you specifically if they wanted to?
So my email is geger@umich.edu, umich.edu.
Awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you. Thanks for sharing with us today, and we're going to share
My
about your
pleasure.
awesome sleep course with people.
Thank you.